Well, good morning and welcome into the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. You know, I love getting your day started off on the right foot. And to help with that, well, I use an inspiring quote. Today's comes to us from Charlotte Bronte, who said, "Life appears to me too short to be spent in nursing animosity or registering wrongs." Ooh, that is so true. Let's just face it, bad stuff happens, but we don't need to dwell on it. We don't need to just ruminate on it and think about it all the time, because if we do, it's just going to make us mad. It is. And being mad, well, that's no way to spend your life. You know what I mean? So let me read it one more time, let it really sink in, and let's see how we can kind of put this into practice today, okay? Life appears to me too short to be spent in nursing animosity or registering wrongs. Words to live by right there. So what do we do instead? Well, we have to try to get over that animosity. We have to try to, look at the situation from a different perspective. You know, so many times, I'm sad to say this, but we're a little selfish when it comes to how we look at something, because we only look at it from our side. But what would happen if we looked at it from the other person's perspective? What would happen if we were open-minded to see that maybe there's a different angle that we're just not aware of? And the whole thing about registering wrongs, wow, you know, I think the best thing I could really bring to mind here about registering wrongs is water off a duck's back. You know the bad stuff is going to happen. We are all capable of doing that bad stuff as well. And sometimes situations, well, they just get out of hand. Or sometimes you don't know the whole story. Somebody's dealing with a lot and it shows up in how they interact with you. So, can you look past it? Can you let it roll off like water off a duck's back? If you can, life's going to be a whole lot better, because let me tell you, staying stuck in the, oh my goodness, does he not know what he did to me? Does she not know how she treated me? That just fosters that animosity in your heart. And you start getting this, it's just not a good road to go down. Let me tell you, I know from experience. You probably do too. So, hey, let's do our best today to look past those, times where maybe we were done wrong. Let's try to give people the benefit of the doubt and understand that we don't know everything that's going on in their life. Is that an excuse that they're supposed to treat you that way? No. But, have you ever done that to somebody where you kind of lashed out at them and it wasn't their fault? Well, then you can understand a little better, right? Yeah. Let's forgive. Let's do this life like we're living with family. Let's see how that changes things. Hey, I'm glad to call you my family. Thanks for being here. I think I want to play a song for you. A song that'll kind of get you up and moving. And one guy comes to mind when I think of this song, and that's Bradley Williams. Man, I hope you're having a great morning so far. This is for you, bud. It's Count 'Em.
You got thunder in your vocal, you got flames in your eyes, you got wonder working power pouring out of your side. Check the tomb all the way through, the grave is empty inside. Ain't no other pull, the greatest miracle of all time.
You know, happiness isn't about getting more. It's about appreciating what we already have. It's easy to keep chasing and thinking, if only I had this, I'd be happy. But true joy, it's found in the small things, the everyday moments we often overlook. Remember, it's not about filling our lives with stuff. It's about filling our hearts with love. And that, my friend, starts with being grateful for the now, for everything we have today.
Right now it's 67 degrees in Boaz, it's 68 in Arab, 69 right now in Albertville, and Scottsboro just happens to be sitting at that nice round number. They are, kissing that 70-degree mark. But the warmest spot you're going to find right now is in, Huntsville and Guntersville, both sitting at 72 degrees. Tons of sunshine and blue sky out there. Hope you're having a wonderful morning so far. Let me tell you about your word of life. It's from Romans chapter 10, verse 17 in the New Living Translation of the Bible. So faith comes from hearing. That is, hearing the good news about Christ. Ooh, that's a good one, isn't it? And guess what? You have the opportunity to share faith with others today when you share this word of life with them so they can hear this good news. Yeah, we've got it at the top of our website, 885jfm.com, plus on all of our socials, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, or Twitter, and TikTok. We've got it in photo and video form, so many ways for you to share it and just to bless somebody today. Yeah, I call it planting seeds. It's sharing your faith. And you know what? I feel like today is going to be a good day. How about you? Here's Forrest Frank.
Okay. I'm about to have a good day. No matter what they say. The sun is shining down on me. Birds are singing praise. I'm about to have a good day.
Hey, I'd love to hear from you this morning. Why don't you text me? 256-967-0885. Let me know your name, where you're listening from, and your favorite song. Maybe I could play it for you this morning. How about some Mac Powell now with Like It's Nothing right here on the Lifeline Morning Show on your 88.5 JFM.
Wine out of water, man from the dust, bringing healing with just a touch.
So yesterday we were talking just a little bit about marriage, and I was just saying how for us husbands, marriage means, being willing to give our wife the center of our cinnamon roll. This is like the whole reason why you get the cinnamon roll, but you're willing to give your wife that part of the cinnamon roll. It's a pretty big deal, right? Yeah, well, I came across a guy who embodies this, and you're going to love it. So stick around. Oh, this is so good. All right, hey, let's talk a little bit about temperatures real quick, because yes, we've been dealing with some mighty fine heat here lately, haven't we? Yeah, and I don't know, some of you might really enjoy the heat. Others, it's not your cup of tea. It's like, nope, I am allergic to sweating. I resemble that remark. Anyway, I got to wondering, where are some of the coldest or the hottest places just in the U.S.? And so you have to remember that when we're talking about the United States, you got to factor in Alaska. So here's the hottest and the coldest, okay? As of yesterday, 120 degrees in Death Valley, California. But the low temperature for yesterday was in Bynum, Montana. 32 degrees. So there you go. Now that's talking about just the continental United States. But you want to talk about Alaska, you can go a little further down the thermometer for that one. So I say all that to say this. It is cold in some areas of the U.S. right now. So I came across this couple, and they're dealing with some cooler temperatures. But, the wife has this idea about where she wants to eat dinner, and she's asking her husband what he thinks about it. And he comes up with a very honest answer. It's a refreshing kind of thing. This is communication at its clearest. I think you'll agree with that. Here, let's take a listen to how it all went down, but how this husband really played this one off. And I think he scored some major brownie points here. Take a listen.
Do you want to eat dinner out here with me?
I do not know.
Okay.
But I will.
But you say you didn't want to.
Yeah, but when you ask me what I want, I'm going to give you an honest answer. It doesn't mean I'm not willing to prioritize you over my own wants and desires. But if you ask me a question, I'm going to give you my honest answer. So no, it's cold. My toesies are cold. I don't want to eat supper out here. But you do, so I will go put on a warm pair of socks. I will warm up some soup for us, and we will sit here and we will watch the sunset, and we will be in love.
I love that. Oh, so good, wasn't it? Hey, he was very honest with his answer, but also said, you know what? It's okay if I don't want to. I'll do it for you. Oh, it's refreshing, isn't it? Yeah, it's good stuff right there. I had to share it with you. Here's Mercy Me and John Rubin with Grace Got You right here on the Lifeline Morning Show on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better.
Have you ever met those who keep humming when the song's through? It's like they're living life to a whole different tune.
Okay, so when I saw this on my socials, I thought this is just a little too relatable because it's, brutally honest. Are you ready for this? I'm going to share it with you. Nobody has seen you look rougher than delivery drivers. Yeah, it's true, isn't it? Hair all a mess in your PJs. Yeah, coffee stains, all the stuff, right? It's one of those things. Anyway, I'm working on keeping my house a little more tidy, so we're a little more ready for visitors. Here's Matthew West. Don't stop praying.
What's your impossible? Your I need a miracle. What's got you barely hanging by a single thread?
All right, it's time for us to talk about being Southern because we're used to this, right? But those who are not from here, well, they kind of got to get used to our ways. There are quite a few things that are done differently here than up north. Yeah, in fact, Marianne has been experiencing that firsthand. You see, her and her husband, they're from New York. And so you can imagine life's a little bit different down here. But Marianne is here for it. She says there's some things that I love, and she broke this down into a little mini series over on her socials. So we're sharing it with you here to see, well, if you can relate. Maybe you'll see what's so important to these people from outside of our community, the reasons why they love the South so much. Now, on her first one, which we shared on Monday, it was the term bless it. Because it's so sweet. You know, if somebody wants to kind of relate to what you're saying or they kind of feel empathetic for you, they say, oh, bless it, that kind of thing. But what is number 2? I'm glad you asked because Marianne's ready. Here it is.
I'm a former New Yorker living in the South for the past 4 years, and I'm sharing with you things that I love that Southerners say and do, part 2. So next up is ma'am and sir. Not only is this a sign of respect, it is also used in multiple ways. Like you can say yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir to an adult and a child. You could be in a store and asked if you need help and you don't, so you would reply no ma'am or no sir, but your toddler could be dumping their food all over the floor and you would say no ma'am or no sir. And you can guarantee I'm using this with my own children. Now the next one took some time to learn. If a Southerner cannot hear or understand something you just said, they'll say ma'am or sir. You could imagine my confusion. It is just so refreshing that this is the cultural norm here, and I love that even my own children are using this.
Ma'am and sir, it's just the norm here in the South, so that's one of the things we can celebrate today. I wonder, what else does she think about living here? Well, stick around here and be listening on the Lifeline Morning Show. I'll share part 3 with you tomorrow morning right here at 7 o'clock. Sound good? All right, now since we were talking about embracing our Southernness, I think it only proper for us to listen to Crowder now with Prove It.
Kick her off, Wichita.
I think one thing that we really embrace here in the South is growing our own food. Yeah, having your own little garden. Maybe you've got one in the backyard, or maybe you've just got a few potted plants, some vegetables. You know, my wife and I, we've got a couple of tomato plants. We went to Lowe's and we picked up a couple of them, and we already had the big planters at the house. So we got some Miracle-Gro potting soil. We put them down in there, put those tomato plants in, and we already had cages from when we had a garden a few years ago. So put the cages in there, and those tomatoes, ooh, they are growing, and they're going to be big and beefy. We got the Goliath Bush variety. So looking forward to some big mater sandwiches. That's the only vegetables that we're growing right now. But I wonder if you could use, I don't know, maybe a tip or a trick to really enjoy your outdoor space a little more. Because let's face it, it's just hot out there. So what are some things that might entice you to spend more time outside? Well, let's talk about that heat for just a second, because, you know, they have some amazing patio umbrellas that you can purchase to put out there. Put you one of those patio chairs underneath it and you got shade, and it feels so much cooler. So maybe that's the thing that'll get you outside. And you know, my wife and I, a few years ago, we decided to go to Walmart and get a few of those patio paver stones, the big 1 foot by 1 foot kind, right? And went out there and we leveled off a spot, put those down, put some border around there, and that is where we have our patio swing. It's one of those 2-seaters, you know, it's got the canopy. Well, it used to have the canopy on the top. I need to buy a new canopy, but the swing is still there, and we've got a little fire pit. Yeah, it's one of those we got from Walmart. It's metal. What we do is we pick up all those limbs from the yard throughout the year, and they're perfect for that. So we'll just sit out there and enjoy it. Oh, and to keep the mosquitoes away, I know that there are some companies that offer the mosquito spraying. That could really go a long way. Or maybe some citronella candles, things like that. Those tiki torches always add some fun to the backyard. But maybe this is a good opportunity for you to get maybe a 2-person tent and just set it up in the backyard to get your kid out of the house. If they got a place to kind of hang out outside that's shaded, that's ventilated, and that feels cool, well, they might just gravitate toward that instead of staying on their iPad in their bedroom all day. I'm just saying. And you can bring some more fun too. Of course, a trampoline, it has its own dangers, but man, is it fun. Oh, and a hammock. Oh, a hammock. That sounds like a blast. Maybe you'd love to spend more time outside, but you do want to do it while it's a little cooler outside. Well, might I suggest some lights? Yeah, they have those string lights at those hardware stores, places like Lowe's, Home Depot. Go get those and you can staple them up on your side porch. Bring a little, I don't know, charm and a little light out there. Maybe get a patio chair or two and you can sit out there and read during dusk with those lights. Yeah, there's so many opportunities to make that outdoor space just a little more inviting and a little more fun to be in. So just a few ideas for you. Just wanted to run it past you. I've really been enjoying being outside this year so far. And those tomato plants, I know they're going to produce some amazing tomatoes. Looking forward to that. But spending more time outside, I think it's needed because we all are kind of glued to our phone most of the time. So to put that down and just enjoy the outdoors goes a long way. Oh, a hummingbird feeder would help. They have hanging bird baths now. You don't have to get the big concrete kind. You can get the ones that just hang from a shepherd's hook. They're pretty cool. So anyway, I could go on and on, like garden trellises for those vines to kind of make it look like the secret garden kind of thing. Anyway, I'll get back to the music now. Just wanted to talk a little bit. Here's Taya with Gonna Be Good. Oh, and I think she's enjoying the outdoors because she's talking about the birds. What?
Look at the birds, how free they fly. Look at the lilies growing so wild.
Beasts of burden. What exactly are they? Well, you read about beasts of burden, right? And they are basically just animals that are supposed to carry stuff around, like a donkey, a mule, a llama, camel, a horse, an ox. They help you get stuff done. Well, there's one miniature beast of burden that I came to love over the course of a few movies. I wonder if you can think of who I'm thinking of. He was a sidekick to this big green dude whose name was Shrek. You remember who I'm talking about? Oh yeah, I'm talking about Donkey. And the iconic voice behind him, I'm kind of a geek when it comes to stuff like this. So I love finding out who voices the characters. And of course, that was Eddie Murphy. And he was all about some waffles, wasn't he? While he was Donkey. Yeah. Did you watch any of the Shrek movies? My daughter has been stuck on them for a while now. We even went and watched Shrek Jr. when it's like put into play form at these different schools around here. We love going to stuff like that. So, got a little news for you though. You see, well, Eddie Murphy might just be reprising that role pretty soon. So here's just a little information about what's coming up. Take a listen. See what you think about this.
Is there another iconic character you want to bring back?
We started doing Shrek 6 months ago, so Shrek is coming back.
All right, nobody move. I got a dragon here and I'm not afraid to use it. I'm a donkey on the edge.
And we're doing just a donkey movie, just a donkey. His dragon wife and his half-dragon donkey children will be in it.
So there you go. A little news for you coming to theaters. I don't know how soon it's going to be because these things take a while. So probably a year or two. But the new Shrek coming out and a new Donkey movie. Oh, I've got to play just one more clip from the movie, if that's all right with you. This is just one of those iconic scenes for me. Here, take a listen.
Yeah! Waffles! And I thought the Waffle Fairy was just a bedtime story. Sticky stacks of golden syrupy deliciousness!
Donkey, don't eat that. There's a stack of freshly made waffles in the middle of the forest. Don't you find that a wee bit suspicious? Oh, you're gonna... What are you... Bad donkey. Mustn't. I said don't. No! Get away from it!
Well, good morning to you, Wheezy. I see you hanging out with us right now in Michigan. Thank you so much for being here. Plus, we got our listeners in Helsinki, Finland, Reno County, Kansas. We got some listeners in Albertville as well. And some people, I know I can't see your pen, but you're there. You're just listening to us on the stream in your vehicle, and that pen doesn't pop up. Thank you for being here. And if you're listening on the FM broadcast, well, let me tell you, thank you for being here. And if you're listening to us on the podcast, on Spotify or Apple Podcast, thank you for being here. Honestly, you're the reason why we are here in the first place. So thank you so much. We appreciate you. Now, I think I want to play a song for Wheezy. I think she likes this one. It's Lauren Daigle, Kaleidoscope Jesus, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show.
To make me feel like I'm the one you love.
Came across this story and I just had to share it with you because, you see, being a dad, it's something that you kind of learn as you go. You want to instill some values into your kids, and sometimes that requires hard love. And this is one dad who found himself right there. He said, when I asked my 11-year-old son to help me unload dirt from our small pickup into his mother's new garden boxes, his reaction was typical. I'm busy right now, he said. He was playing Roblox on the family laptop, wearing sweatpants and an old t-shirt, lounging on the sofa, feet on the coffee table. No, you're not, I said. There was a fight, moaning, excuses, the usual. Moments later, we were next to a wheelbarrow, shoveling dirt. He looked at me with flat eyes, his hood up, shoulders slumped, and said, "Why do we have to do this?" I thought for a moment, because I'll admit it was a valid question. Neither of us were all that into flowers or vegetables or any of the things that would be grown in those garden boxes. But my wife, Mel, loves gardening. I thought, and he waited, and finally I said, when you love someone, you serve them. I went on telling him that I want him to grow up to be the kind of man who serves his family, friends, and community. This, I said while gesturing to the dirt and the garden boxes I built the weekend before, and the wheelbarrow and shovel and the first of many truckloads of dirt we would unload over the next few weeks, is what love looks like. He didn't like my answer. I could see it in the way he reluctantly picked his shovel back up. We finished unloading the dirt. The next day, while I was at work, and the kids and Mel had the day off because it was between terms, Mel picked up another load of dirt, and before she had a chance to unload it, Tristan voluntarily started working. When she asked him why, he shrugged and said, "Because I love you." I'd never been prouder of my son. Wow, Clint, man, that is an amazing story. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's inspiring. So sometimes tough love is exactly what we need to do as dads. It doesn't feel good in the moment, but man, does it pay off. So keep up the good work, Dad. Thanks for being here.
Lately I've been wrestling with everything, 'cause everything seems hard.
Feel like moving a little bit? Well, we heard from Chris Lawrence yesterday talking about that song Rattle and about how it just makes him want to get up and move because he sees all the truth in those lyrics. And I love that. I love when you really are connecting with the song. This one right here, I don't know, ever since I heard it, it just makes me want to get up and dance, and I want to play it for you now. Maybe it'll get down in your soul. Maybe you'll want to jump around a little bit too. You want evidence that this makes me want to dance? I posted it over on the JFM family page. It's been a while back, but hey, I got some moves. I can cut a rug, especially when you give me good music like this. It's Be the Kingdom. With Won't He Do It?
Said, won't he do it? Yes, he will. Won't he do it? Yes, he will.
Wow, good stuff, right? That make you want to move a little bit? Yeah, well, let me tell you, I just got a text. And by the way, I love hearing from you. So if you'd like to text me too, it's 256-967-0885. But I got a text from Dee Dee. She says, "Good morning. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for all you do for us. You're really doing God's work." Thank you so much, Dee Dee. I appreciate that. Also, can you please tell Wheezy to get out of my head? I was just fixing to ask you to play Kaleidoscope Jesus. So can you please play that other song of Lauren Daigle that I've only heard like one time that you played? Yeah, I can do that for you. Thank you, Didi, for reaching out. So I love this. We just become family around here. And hey, we do have a family group over on Facebook as well. If you're not part of the family, I'd love to send you the invitation. So why don't you text me? 256-967-0885 is the number to text. Let me know your name, where you're listening from, and your favorite song. Maybe I could play it for you. Okay, so here is the song I think that Didi is talking about. It's Lauren Daigle's brand new song. It's called To Know Me, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show.
To know why I cry every time I see a sunset.
What a song about friendship. To Know Me, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Now, another request. This goes out to Jimmy Lee Udi. He wants to hear Strong. Here you go, sir. Thanks for making us part of your day. I'd love to play your request as well, so why don't you text me 256-967-0885.
Strong, try to make them all think I'm strong. Yeah, the face I keep putting on says I ain't tired, but these tear-stained eyes ain't lying.
Okay, so just a few minutes ago, I got a text from Dee Dee Blessing, and she said, Stephen, would you please tell Wheezy to get out of my head, because I was thinking of that song, because I played a song for Wheezy, right? Well, now Wheezy has responded on the text and said, LOL, Dee Dee, I don't take up much room. How about Ego? Yeah, I can play that for you. I love this interaction, this back and forth. Y'all keep it going. Here's that song by Lauren Daigle. And hey, I'd love to play your request as well. Why don't you text me? 256-967-0885.
Stuck inside the game, all just trying to find a place for the stories we share, a picture perfect in every frame.
79 right now in Arab, but oh my, it looks like over in Boaz, they just happen to be kissing that 80-degree mark. It's already 81 in Huntsville and 82, the hot spot in Bluntsville right now. Your forecast is brought to you by Classic by the Lake Express Car Wash. They're a locally owned, locally operated, full-service family car wash and the home of the unlimited monthly wash plan. They're at the top of the mountain in Gunnersville, next door to Gunnersville Chevrolet. That's Classic by the Lake Express Car Wash. Now, your word of life. Today, it's a good one. You know, these scriptures, they're so small, they're so short, but they're so significant. And I hope it really speaks to you today from Romans 10:17 in the New Living Translation of the Bible. So faith comes from hearing, that is, hearing the good news about Christ. It just does something to you, doesn't it? I think that's the reason why you're listening to this radio station, is because you're going to hear that good news. But you know what? You can do that for somebody today. You can share this word of life with them. Let them hear that good news. We've got that word of life on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, or Twitter, and TikTok. And it's always right there at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. I really enjoy being able to hang out with you. And I wonder if maybe you're feeling up to texting me this morning. And the number's 256-967-0885. Let me know your name, where you're listening from, and your favorite song. Maybe I could play it for you. Yeah, okay, so let me get to one right now. Richard Udi. He was wondering if I could play Fear is a Liar by Zach Williams. Well, you know what? I think I can do that for you, sir. Fear is a Liar by Zach Williams. Pop that in my computer. Cue it up, and here we go. Again, that number is 256-967-0885. If you'd like for me to play your song. Looks like Matt Chandler just reached out, too. I'll be getting to his shortly. Oh, it's Charlotte, actually, not Matt. All right, I'll be right back.
When he told you you're not good enough, when he told you you're not right, when he told you you're not strong enough to put up a good fight.
Well, you never quite know who you're going to hear from. I got a text message just a few minutes ago and says, this is Charlotte. Now, this is from Matt Chandler's phone number. It says, this is Charlotte. Could you play one of my dad's songs? And then Matt evidently got a hold of the phone and said, sorry, my daughter had the phone. You really don't have to do that. I'm going to kill her. I said, I love it. I'm going to play that song. So Here it is. He said, please don't feel like you have to. I'm never allowing my kids to use my phone again. Oh, it's okay. I like your music.
Your love can cover a multitude of sins.
Well, good morning to you, Birmingham. Thank you so much for being here. We've also got some listeners. Looks like you're down in Mountainboro, Alabama. We got Albertville and Gunnersville on board. We got our friends in Helsinki, Finland as well. And some more listeners. I can't see your pin, but I know you're there. And I can't see that pin on the FM broadcast either. Thank you for being here. I can't see it on the Spotify or the Apple Podcast map either, because there's not an Apple or Spotify map. I just know people listen to the podcast. So, hey, if you've never checked the podcast out before, go over there and check it out. Maybe share it with somebody. We're just trying to make your day a little bit better and help you make other people's day a little bit better. So let me get to a request. Yeah. So let's see here. Who was that? Oh, Christina reached out and said, hey, could you play Colton Dixon? And he's singing Build a Boat, but he's singing it with a lady. I don't remember her name, but it's a duet. Yes. I can tell you this now. Her name is Gabby Barrett, and here it is. It's Build a Boat.
I've been wandering through the desert, ain't seen a cloud in forever over me, but I believe your rain is coming.
I've been hanging on to high hopes, 'cause you're the one who's making dry bones come to life. You're the light I put my trust in.
So you might be thinking, Stephen, why are those two singing together on that song? I've never even heard of Gabby Barrett before. I understand. She's kind of a newer artist, right? But both of them came from American Idol. Yeah, Colton Dixon was on the 11th season, where he placed 7th on American Idol that year. And then Gabby is from 16th season. She placed 3rd. So they're together on that track. And since we're playing some Colton Dixon, that's from a little while back. Let's play you some brand new Colton Dixon. In fact, this one is trending right now on Christian radio stations across the country. It's called Up and Up. I want to play it for you, but first, I want you to hear the story behind the song.
This is Colton Dixon, and I can't wait for you to hear my brand new song, Up and Up. Man, I think we would all agree that life can be tough sometimes, but I believe that God wants the very best for us. In fact, Jeremiah 29:11 says this, that God's plans for us are to prosper us, not to harm us, to give us hope and a future. So I believe that God's plan for us is always up and up and up and up again. So I hope you guys enjoy my brand new song, Up and Up.
This might just be a contender for Song of the Summer. I'm just saying. Here it is, Colton Dixon, Up and Up.
Even though I walk through the valley, sometimes it feels like a crawl through the valley, but I got a promise that I hold on tight to. I can't lose when I'm right beside you. Yeah.
I mean, they're eating you out of house and home. They're saying, Mom, I'm bored. And then sometimes they kind of get a little too creative for their own good. And yes, they get into a little bit of trouble. Then their feelings are hurt because you had to get on to them. So what do? You try to make them happy again? Do you try to make everything all right? Do you smooth everything over? Well, Dr. Becky has a little something to say about that. And I think it's pretty relatable, and it's some good advice. You know, I'm kind of learning this thing as I go. I'm a dad myself, and Grace is, wow, she's 9. It's crazy how fast she's growing. And she's going to be 10 coming up in December, about to go into the 4th grade. It's crazy, right? But sometimes her feelings are hurt. Sometimes you can really tell she sulls up a little bit and she doesn't want to talk because, well, she's just not feeling all right. She's upset. Is that okay? Here, take a listen to what Dr. Becky has to say about that.
It's okay for my kid to be upset. I want to say that again. It's okay for my kid to be upset. So often when our kids are frustrated or disappointed or mad at us, we unconsciously think we have to fix the feeling. And then we do all types of things to help our kid feel happy instead of help our kid tolerate their upset feelings. You and I know that in adulthood, life is all about tolerating our upset feelings and then realizing we can get through it. I'm disappointed that that project at work didn't go my way. Ooh, I'm not looking to feel happy right now. I need to remind myself that I can tolerate this upset feeling and figure out a way forward. Our kids' resilience comes from their ability to tolerate upset feelings, not exit out of them. And our kids can't learn to tolerate feelings we don't tolerate in them. So say it with me. It's okay that my kid is upset.
So I was sitting here thinking back to my childhood, and you see, this time of year, usually we were in Florida because the majority of my mom's family, in fact, she herself grew up in Florida, and though we were living in Alabama, a lot of her family was still down there, so we go visit, right? And they did things a little bit differently in Florida than from around here. One of the things I noticed was they had like this grocery tunnel. This shack had a tunnel you drive through. You basically drive in and you tell them what you want to pick up. And then they load up your car, you pay them, and then you go about your merry way. Pretty cool concept, right? I think more and more retail stores are catching on to that concept because, Walmart pickup, I just had a pickup yesterday. Go online, put all your stuff in the cart digitally, pay for it, and then you set up a time to come pick it up. You just show up, they put it in the back of your truck or in your car, in your trunk, whatever, then you go on about your merry way. So convenience really helps a lot, especially with these busy lives we lead, right? So it got me thinking about something. You see, Wheezy, just a few minutes ago, sent me a text, and the picture over on the text shows some amazing lettuce. She's harvesting some lettuce today, right? And I got to thinking, how cool would it be if people started having like garden side dining? Yeah, it's like all the ingredients are there for an amazing salad. So what if you were to set up some sawhorses, some sheet, some plywood, make a little makeshift tables, put some plates out there, and go harvest everything you need for that salad, and then you just serve people when they come up to have a salad. Or you could do the same thing with corn, a big field full of corn. Just go out there, grab some ears, shuck them. You can give them the you pick them kind of thing. Say, hey, you want to go out there and pick your ears of corn? You go out there and you pluck them off and you go ahead and shuck them, right? And then you bring them to them and they cook them up for you real quick. And then you just enjoy it right there on the spot. I think that's a wonderful idea. So, Wheezy, you have inspired something this morning, and it looks like you're going to be eating mighty fine on those heads of lettuce. They look really good, too. I'm not seeing any holes or anything. You really kept good care of those lettuce. So, hope you enjoy. It just made me hungry. Ranch, anyone? Thanks so much for hanging out with me right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Now, stick around because we've got This Day in History coming up next, right after Cody Carnes and Firm Foundation, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Man, I'm so hungry now.
Christ is my firm foundation, the rock on which I stand.
Well, good morning and welcome to This Day in History. It's a chance for us to take a look back on years gone by and the people who were the movers and shakers, the people who have invented things, and, those notable people who history books are written about. So here we go. On this day in 1797, American Charles Newbold is granted a patent for a cast iron plow. His device is regarded with suspicion by farmers who fear the effects of iron implements on the soil. Wow. Well, you know what? I've used many an iron implement, and it does a good job. In 1870, the boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey welcomed summer visitors to its shorefront attractions. You ever been to the Jersey Shore before? In 1907, American author Samuel Clemens, you might know him as Mark Twain, received an honorary doctorate from Oxford University. How cool is that? I heard it recently that some people discount those honorary doctorates because they don't really carry the weight of having studied for that long to, achieve or earn that particular degree. But I heard it said this way: when you get a degree that you earn, that's a promise that you're going to achieve something big. But when you achieve something big and you get that honorary doctorate, that's just evidence that you did the big thing. So I think that's a pretty cool way of looking at it. And then let's take a look at this. In 1925, cinema is rocked by British actor Charlie Chaplin. He communicated masterfully without saying a word in The Gold Rush, which had its Los Angeles, California premiere back in 1925. And then How about this? Patrick Branwell Bronte, English portrait artist, brother of the Bronte sisters, was born on this day in 1817. You're like, Stephen, I've never heard of that guy before. Why are you mentioning him? Well, because, you see, this morning, the inspiring quote of the day was from his sister, one of the Bronte sisters. So I had to mention him because I didn't plan it that way. It just happened. In 1819, Abner Doubleday, the American Civil War artillery officer, popularly credited with founding the game of baseball in 1839. He was born on this day. The founder of baseball? How cool is that? I enjoy some baseball. I like watching it. I really like playing it. And that is this day in history. So let us close the book. And let me remind you of something. I believe that history books are waiting to be written about the man and the woman of God who completely sell out, who completely follow the lead of the Holy Spirit. You know what? I think maybe that's going to be you. I think maybe it's going to be me. And I can't wait to see what kind of things are written about what God does through our lives. So hold your head up high, keep moving forward, follow his lead, and go make some history today, okay? Thank you for being here. And a big thank you to the Right Reverend Larry Walls for making this particular segment possible. He brought me the book. So thank you, Pastor Larry. I appreciate you, sir. Now back to the music that you love. I got Tasha Layton here with Love Lifting Me. Right here, right now, on the Lifeline Morning Show on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. I'd love to hear from you. Maybe request a song. Text me, 256-967-0885.
When I think of those times I'm hurting, I see you, 'cause you're there too.
Wow. You know, I'm always on the lookout for these temperatures, and let's just go ahead and run through them real quick. I'm very surprised that well, here, I'll let you hear it for yourself. Okay. So it is 85 in Gunnersville and Coleman. It's 86 right now in Bluntsville. 84 over in Arab, but it just so happens in Scottsboro, they are already, kissing the 90-degree mark. 3 kisses? Yeah, 3 kisses. But really, you know what it feels like out there. It doesn't feel like kissing. No. It feels like a little bit of sizzle. How about some bacon? Yeah, it's hot out there. You know, I saw this pretty cool meme. It was somebody who'd taken a pack of hot dogs and they'd skewered them on their antenna on the outside of their car so they could just bake them while they're driving along, might as well use some solar power to cook those hot dogs. But yeah, it's feeling a little like bacon out there. It's okay though. We got some sunshine, some blue skies, so it's all good. All right, let me take a look and see where we got some streamers. Oh, I think this is the first time out near Bernie Point and Beverly Station, just a little southwest of Birmingham. Thank you for being here. Also, right in the heart of Birmingham, I see you this morning. I've got some listeners just south of Aniana near Allgood, Alabama. I didn't even know Allgood existed. It's all good. Sounds great. We've also got Mountainboro and Albertville. We've got Arab and Coleman's on board. Fort Payne is with us this morning. Reno County, Kansas, one of our mainstays. They're here with us this morning. Wheezy's hanging out with us up in Michigan. Oh, she loved the idea of the garden side dining, but these particular lettuce heads she's actually sharing with friends who are celebrating a birthday. So happy birthday. And then we've got our listeners in Helsinki, Finland. And hey, I'd love to hear from you. Maybe I can't see your pin on the streaming map because, well, you're in a moving vehicle and it just doesn't show up. Or maybe you're listening on the FM dial, or maybe you're listening on the podcast. Well, go ahead and text me. Let me know your name, where you're listening from, and maybe your favorite song. I'd love to play it for you. 256-967-0885 is the number to text. Again, it's 256-967-0885. And I just got a text from Cindy Mitchell. Good morning. I'm in Arab right now, and my van says it's 90 degrees outside. Yes, it is hot out there. You know, when I left here yesterday at the station, I looked down at my thermometer in my truck. It said it was 108 degrees outside. That's too hot, especially here in the South. Out west, it's a different kind of heat, but here with the humidity, forget about it, right? Here's Maverick City Music with More Than Able featuring Tasha Cobbs Leonard. It's a great song. Turn it up. And I look forward to hearing from you this morning.
When did I start to forget all of the great things you did?
Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with me right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. About this time every morning, I love to share with you a little content from Brian Trent. Now, he's a pastor of Lighthouse Church in Hampton, South Carolina, and he and his family post amazing content like every day. You can find them by typing in Trent Tribe. But today, he's got a little something to say about the in-between. Yeah, I think you're really going to love it. So here, take a listen to this, see what you think about it. And it's a great opportunity for you to tune into a new podcast as well. So pretty cool stuff they got going on. Here, see what you think about it, though.
What about the in-between? Because that's where I struggle the most. Because somebody recently handed me a gospel tract while I was at an event, that walks you through the process of salvation. And it's like, you've sinned and you've fallen short and you have a need for a savior. And here's this prayer and you pray this and you pray that. And immediately it went into now spend eternity with God in heaven. And I think that's all wonderful. My problem is there's this thing called the in-between. In between the time that I come to know Christ and the time that I get to heaven, there's this thing called life. And it's in that life that I tend to have the most struggles. And I got to thinking one day, I said, is God really just called us to come to an altar and then after that just sit there for the rest of our life waiting on heaven? Or perhaps there's something we're missing. And so several years ago, I began doing something called Exploring My Salvation, where I continue growing in it. I learn more about it, and I realize that it's a beautiful gift. It's not just an event, it's a gift from God through his son Jesus. And that God, in the process of me exploring, revealed to me this hope and this joy and this love that the world couldn't offer me. So God met me in the in-between and began showing me that he had an abundant life for me. And I believe it's a place that the church as a whole is missing a lot, is seeing God in the in-between, because your salvation is something that needs to be explored. It's one of the reasons why in our newest podcast, we're talking about being set free to live free, because it's part of diving into exploring your salvation. We hope it blesses you guys. Love y'all.
Yeah, I love that he's putting new content out on different platforms as well. You can find him on just about every social platform, but now in podcast form as well. So you can go check him out. Just type in Brian Trent Podcast, and you can find him wherever you do your podcasting. Cool. And hey, while you're at it, if you want to check out the Lifeline Morning Show podcast, you can totally do that too. And maybe share that with somebody as well. Thanks for being here. Yeah, you can go subscribe. You just type in Trent Tribe over on the socials. You can find him right there. But every morning about 9:30, I love sharing his content right here. He just has a way of spelling things out and just a different perspective that I think he can really describe. And I love when people can do that and kind of show you something maybe you never really saw before. You kind of knew it, but you never saw it that way. That's what I love about this guy. So anyway, Brian Trent, thank you, sir. And now let's get you back to the music that you love. How about some House Fires with I Thank God? Right here, right now, on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. Now, by request, it's Ann Wilson with Hey Girl from Rock the South.
Rock the South. Where are all my girls at today? Well, this next one's for you. If you guys know this, help me sing it out.
Well, the time has come for me to bid you adieu, but before I do, I'd like to share with you an inspiring quote. In fact, some might say it's the most inspiring quote of the day. From Charlotte Bronte. Life appears to me too short to be spent in nursing animosity or registering wrongs. Ooh, I want you to think about that one. Life is too short to be focused on all the bad. You know what? Yep, people do stupid things sometimes, myself included. And sometimes I, kind of put my problems on somebody else in the way that I treat them. You ever do that before? Yeah, instant regret, right? It's like, why did I do that? Well, let's just remember that each one of us is human and not one of us is perfect. And let's try to get over the stuff, all the negative, all the bad, all the times you feel like somebody went out of their way just to mess up your day. Because honestly, more than likely, that was not their intent at all. They're just dealing with some stuff and they need a little grace and a little mercy. It's not an excuse. I'm just saying that maybe we need to give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. Life is hard. We've all been there before. So just an idea for you. Don't harp on the bad stuff. Let's start looking forward to the good. Let's give a second chance or a third chance. And at the same time, I mean, don't be a doormat, but let's share some love today. Sound good? Yeah. Hey, I'll try my best to do that too, okay? I'll take the challenge with you. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. And hey, you know what? You can catch this show as a podcast at 10:30 this morning over on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Just wanted to make sure you knew about that. Yeah, maybe you could, I don't know, share us with a friend or family member, maybe even subscribe. We're just trying to make people's day just a little bit better. Thank you for doing that. I'll see you right back here tomorrow from 6 to 10 for another Lifeline Morning Show. In the meantime, how about we close out the show with an oldie but a goodie? It's FFH and Ready to Fly.
I've been here grounded for too long. I'm ready to see the open wide, ready to sing a different song.